Welcome back. The time is 9:46, and you're still tuned in to Salam Media with myself, Salailo Makwidiri, right here on your home of humanitarian journalism. And this hour of news and views is sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency. Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond. And still sticking with Africa Muslims Agency as we approach the bitter cold of winter in the northern hemisphere. The challenges faced by vulnerable families in Gaza, Lebanon, and Afghanistan intensify. For many, winter brings not only freezing temperatures, but also increased hardship in already dire circumstances. And today we're joined by Hafiz Hussain Choonara. He's the regional manager of Africa Muslims Agency, and we'll be discussing their winter rescue campaign. This is a very, very vital initiative which aims to provide life-saving assistance to those struggling to survive the harsh winter conditions. We'll learn more about the current realities in Gaza, Lebanon, and Afghanistan, the impact of winter on refugee communities, and most importantly, how you can play a part in alleviating their suffering. So stay tuned for this very, very important conversation. Hussain, Jazakallah so much for joining us. Always a pleasure having you here on Salam Media.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Sarelo, and to all the listeners and viewers of Salam Media. Jazakallah for having us on.
I mean, I think we already know that those that are living in Gaza and Afghanistan and Lebanon, particularly in these camps, are already in very, very difficult circumstances. But when you throw in the harsh and very, very bitter cold winter that they have in that part of the world, the situation is exacerbated very, very, very extensively. Can you paint a picture for us as someone that's been in that part of the world in a very, difficult and cold winter? What does it look like? What does it feel like for them?
Absolutely, Sereno, you said it quite rightly. Of course, already a challenging situation daily for the people, for the many of the hundreds and thousands of families that are displaced, whether it's in the Gaza Strip, whether it's in Lebanon, or in Afghanistan. Right now, many people forget Afghanistan. Afghanistan, a country that was, it went through 4 decades of conflict, and there's millions and millions of widows and orphans who they struggle daily when they wake up is just to survive, to get something to eat. And now with the winter season in that part of the world, and as well as in Lebanon, you find more challenges. Walking into those camps, you find children living in plastic sheeted tents that has no insulation from the warmth, from the elements. And of course, the reality of the situation is sometimes mothers who wake up in the morning and find their children frozen and loss of life, whether it's Afghanistan or Lebanon. So people right now, as we know, in those countries don't have the right shelter, don't have the warmth. You see them children walking with, whatever makeshift sandals or shoes that they can find from the dustbin. So they don't have the necessary warmth or jackets or blankets or mattresses or heaters. So they're trying to find the food, but they also need the warmth to keep warm and survive the harsh winter in that part of the world.
And let's speak about the AMA's Winter Rescue campaign. What is it all about? What does it aim to achieve? And most importantly, how do people get involved?
Absolutely. So the Winter Rescue Campaign in Lebanon, in Gaza, and in Afghanistan aims to provide and assist families with fuel, whether it's in the different countries, different services being provided. In Gaza, to provide the blankets, whether it's in the middle of Gaza, in Deir al-Bala, to the families, whether it's wood, to provide fuel for warmth, as well as wood as well for fuel to keep warm, as well for cooking as well. In Lebanon, to provide blankets, mattresses, heaters, and other items. And the same goes with Afghanistan, to provide the heaters and the fuel and the blankets, as well as clothing to children as well. So this is what the Winter Rescue Campaign is about, to provide warmth, to identify the hundreds of families in Afghanistan, in Lebanon, in Gaza, whether the Syrian and Palestinian refugees or the displaced Lebanese families as well, inshallah, will be assisted to this program.
And why the decision to, spread it out to these three countries? Why not, maybe focus on maybe just Lebanon or Afghanistan or Gaza, which we know and understand the reality and the situation in that part of the world? Was the need so great that there was no other option but to spread it out through these three different countries?
Yes, Sereno, there's a need. For example, Afghanistan is a massive, massive need. On levels people don't speak about Afghanistan, whether it's in terms of food scarcity, whether it's in terms of warmth currently for the winter season. So people need it. We've seen our teams are based there on the ground. They meet families on a daily basis. Alhamdulillah, through the mercy of Allah and generosity of donors, hundreds of children, orphan children, are sponsored in Afghanistan. We do borehole projects in Afghanistan as well. So the infrastructure, the teams are in place, and it's about focusing on providing the families there with warmth. In Lebanon, we're working in the Syrian and Palestinian camps. We're in the Bekaa Valley as well. Alhamdulillah, we have a school there as well. And of course, meeting the families, and those families need the warmth. We know the harshness of the winter season in that part of the world. So to identify and meet those families, and inshallah to assist them as best as we can with the generosity of donors. And of course, Gaza, facing challenges on a daily basis. People living in makeshift structures, in camps, in the streets, trying to survive on a daily basis. Now also have to have the warmth, and our best teams there on the ground trying to assist as best as possible, inshallah.
And to those that want to contribute, that want to be a part of this, are they specifically, donating to, a specific country, or is just for the whole initiative? And African Muslims Agency will be the ones that ultimately go about making sure that the relevant needs are acquired and distributed to those that are in need.
Both, actually. So what if a donor has a specific niyyah to say they want to support families in Afghanistan, or they want to support families in Gaza or Lebanon? That is, of course, will be proceeded according to the niyyah. And if a donor would like to say, I would like to donate towards this, and you see best fit who to assist, inshallah, then that can also be done. And feedback will be provided to the donors, inshallah. Live updates from Afghanistan, from Gaza, from Lebanon will be posted on our social media over the past 2 days. We've been updating the winter situation in these countries, inshallah. So I would encourage everybody listening to please visit our website, africamuslimsagency.co.za, or connect with any of our offices around the country, or DM us on Africa Muslims Agency. And we encourage you to join us as a community, as a business, as families, as students, whatever capacity you can, to support families who right now in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Afghanistan need the warmth, inshallah.
I mean, and I think we're going to leave it on that note. Hussain, Jasakla, so much for giving us your time. And we'll definitely be spreading the word here on Salam Media. And hopefully we'll also be getting in touch with those that are, in these various countries, just to hear firsthand the situation there, as I'm pretty sure the winter season will be intensifying.
I mean, Jazakallah, please. And of course, absolutely, we can do that. Shukran wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. That was Hafiz Hussain Choonara, who's from Africa Muslims Agency, and he's the regional manager there. And he was giving us a bit more information about Africa Muslims Agency's winter rescue activation and program that they have, and this hopes to bring some kind of warmth and comfort to the people of Gaza, Lebanon, and Afghanistan, who are right now above and overall, the circumstances that they're trying to survive in. You throw in the natural elements, which is a very, very harsh and cold winter season. While here in South Africa we'll be enjoying summer, it's going to be the holidays. Well, it's an inverse in that part of the country. It's really cold. The circumstances that they find themselves in are really difficult, and I think it's up to us to make sure that we contribute just whatever way that we can. So yeah, really, really important initiative, and we hope that you get involved with it, and you can do that by going to the website of Africa Muslims Agency, or going to their various social media pages and contribute in whatever way that you can. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues after this.
We are here in the middle of a Zahra neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is already destroyed. More than 17 towers are down. Here, as you can see, the firefighters trying their best to help. The people are still under the rubble. A lot of the people.
Join Hamza on his exclusive South African tour as he shares his personal experiences, never before seen footage, and powerful insights on the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This is more than just a talk. It's an invitation to witness Gaza through the lens of Hamza Sha'alan. Don't miss this opportunity to meet the photojournalist who brought Gaza's pain and perseverance to the world in its darkest moments. Follow Salam Media on social media pages for more on this tour and be part of the conversation.